Crypto presents exciting new opportunities for the investment-minded, but it's also volatile and accelerating in complexity. That's why we created Token Metrics, an intelligent crypto platform backed by an industry-leading combination of data, AI, and media that feeds optimized portfolios to crypto investors. Featuring Token Metrics ratings to help you find the best investment opportunities in real time, an indices page that showcases various model portfolios, and deep insights into price predictions and technical analysis. A dedicated NFT dashboard that evaluates NFT collections and assets by our machine learning algorithm to find the most profitable and secure NFTs across all available blockchains. Plus, with access to Token Metrics TV, monitor 24/7 exclusive crypto news and analysis. Whether you're a first-time trader or a seasoned crypto investor, you can stay informed and in control, backed by your all-in-one crypto companion, Token Metrics. Take control of crypto today at...
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Actually, guys, I'm experiencing background noise. Is it just me?
Just you.
Look into that. All right. With that being said, welcome, Forrest. Good to have you back. Happy New Year. Hope it was well.
Happy New Year, Ian. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, 2023. Hopefully, it's an even more bullish year for crypto. All right. So welcome, friends, TM family. We have Michael on the stream. Welcome. Happy New Year. Mississippi, Eric, Star, Daydream, Barrio, Cryptocology, Azim. What's up, Azim? Ryan. All right. Happy New Year. So we have a stream for you. We'll go through and share what we have in store for you guys. Definitely make sure to follow us on social. Token Metrics on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, a podcast as well. And be sure to follow us on TikTok as well. Actually, Gaurav, could you pull this up, my presentation? All right, there we go. So if you want to submit a question for the stream for both me and Forrest, go to menti.com, menti.com. Use the code 1777772, or just scan this QR code. Go there, post your questions. We'll be accepting questions until probably for like the first half hour or so. Then we'll go through and answer the questions that have the most votes. All right, with that being said, going through the agenda, we're going to go through and give you the crypto market update. So Forrest is joining us from Crypto Stackers, and he'll give us basically his TA on the market for 2023 for both Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we have a special new segment just for this month, just for this stream, Degen coin of the month. There have been lots of Degen coins people are covering, talking about on Twitter. We'll go through and see if any of them are worth trading. All right, with that being said, Forrest, take it away. What's your outlook on the market for 2023?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll pull up my chart here and share. And I know this is crypto, but we do have to take into account what's shaping the narrative right now, and that's the legacy market. It's been that way. Obviously FTX happened, and we had a little bit of a drop off in correlation, where crypto took a big spill against the rest of the legacy market. But what we need to understand is that there's a really strong chance that we get a recession this year. Most analysts are predicting a recession in 2023, and one of the major reasons, among many, are the inversion of this yield curve. So this is the yield curve. This is the 10-year bond minus the 2-year bond. Bonds are complicated. The only thing you need to know is that when this goes below this green level, right, it goes below zero, it predicts a recession in the coming months to maybe year and a half at the most. And we've been inverted for quite some time here, and we've been more inverted than we've been in some of these previous recessions. So that's why there's the put to call ratio is absurd right now. So many people hedging against further downside, because it does look like we're going to get a recession in 2023. We've been fighting inflation. There's a lot of bad things. The market doesn't look great, and that doesn't mean we can't make money. We just means we need to manage our risk and prepare. However, you will note in this yield curve inversion chart that usually the market, the S&P 500 down here in orange, peaks in congruence with, simultaneously with, or after the bottoming of the yield curve. And it looks like, we don't know for certain, but it looks like the yield curve, there's a strong chance that it has bottomed. So that would indicate that maybe, just maybe, the top isn't in for the S&P 500 yet. Now, I don't subscribe to that belief, but what I do think is that there's potential for somewhat of a bear market rally or a little bit of a last push before we do go into recession. Again, a lot of people talk about when Jerome Powell is going to be and the Fed are going to be pivoting, but oftentimes we don't even see the top of the market until after they pivot. And Jerome Powell said in their plan that they don't even plan to pivot yet in 2023. Now, the market believes that he will have to pivot and reduce interest rates and stop rate hiking, but there's none planned in. There's no rate drops actually planned in for 2023 at this point in time. So there is potential that we get one of these last little pushes upwards. And we're in a space, we're in a time frame. I'll go to a tweet I put out recently that just shows the historical performance of the S&P 500 in this kind of sweet spot period of time. And that's where we're at right now. In the 6 months following a midterm election, which we had on November 11th of this past year, just about a month and a half ago, the average return out of the S&P 500, dating all the way, this data dates back to the 1960s, but if you take it all the way back in the Dow Jones and S&P 500 pre-1920s, the same thing holds. And you expect an average, if you see my cursor here, an average return of 15.1% in the 6 months, through April 30th of the following year out of the S&P 500. So while everybody is worried about recession, and I do think we're getting recession in 2023, we are also have that opposing force to the upside. And I do think it's plausible that we get a bit of a rally here in the S&P 500, maybe make another test of this downtrend line. And again, I'm not trying to get people super excited and say, hey, we're going to rip to all-time highs and we're going to fade the recession. I don't think that's the case at all. But what I do think is a lot of people may get caught out if they're overhedged to the downside, if they're really, really trying to short the market here after the crypto market's really bottomed out and the S&P 500 pops up a little bit, maybe puts in a double top. Maybe if we get a really nice rally, puts in a double top over here before going into a recession. Just want to make people aware that we are in that time frame where we could see a bounce or a move, a push up out of the legacy market. Although I do understand that a lot of people don't think that that's a likely scenario. We look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and this is the last legacy chart we'll show before we go into Bitcoin and ETH. This is a very classic reversal pattern, very classic reversal pattern. In the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we have broken our downtrend line, made support on the back of it. We could very well get a push up before maybe we see a recession in 2023. So just because everybody's doom and gloom right now, don't count out potential short-term upside. Same thing goes for crypto. We are due for a little bit of a bear market rally. Bitcoin's been basically straight down. This FTX collapse brought Bitcoin down only 28%, which is extraordinarily interesting to me. I would have thought, and if you'd asked anybody, how low they'd think Bitcoin would go in the weeks following FTX collapsing, I would have thought we'd have already come down and potentially touched like 10K, 12K by now, but we're still managing to hang on at this key support level, key resistance level at $16.8 thousand. You'll see down here at the bottom, I've got the correlation coefficient here for the S&P 500 versus Bitcoin. And this is just important to understand that, hey, the two are correlated. And after we saw this FTX collapse, we actually saw Bitcoin shoot back into correlation with S&P 500. So FTX collapsed, Bitcoin crashed by itself. The S&P 500 was actually rallying at the time. That's why you get this negative correlation. It was rallying off of a really nice CPI print. And then Bitcoin shoots back up to higher levels of correlation. So if the S&P 500 rallies, which we know there's a slight possibility it does. I'm not saying it's going to, but the stage may be set for a January rally, maybe even a February rally. If it does move up, there's a lot of stuff that has been shorted very, very hard. A lot of altcoins that could short squeeze and print a decent bear market rally. Again, I think that I'm not trying to paint a bullish picture. Just want people to be prepared and not get caught in a bear market rally in terms of, aping in at the wrong time and jumping in and then getting caught in a 2023 recession. So for Bitcoin here, I do want to show you the key level here is $16,800. That's the level that's just been like a magnet. If we zoom in, we see Bitcoin has been moving above and below that level while the rest of the market really decides what it's going to do. The S&P 500 is not really done anything but chop over the last few days, up 1%, then down 1%. But we do have the possibility of going, in my opinion, up to test this resistance level at 18.9K. We see this over and over again where we take a level down, we go up, and then it gets shorted back down and we make new lows. So don't be surprised if we go to 18.9K, but don't be surprised if we catch resistance there. The last indicator I do want to show you guys on the Bitcoin chart here is the easy bands here. And this is really serves for showing where the downside risk potentially is for Bitcoin. Historically, Bitcoin has not gone below this indicator, below the green bold easy band for any significant amount of time. It might wick there for a day or two, but that is basically the back up the truck and get into Bitcoin. Those are the levels that are very, very likely to catch a short-term bounce or even be a bear market low. You can see here we did put in a new low. However, we got a very, very nice bounce off of that level. So it pays to be paying attention to this. But if we say, hey, Bitcoin has never really gone significantly below this green level, where's the lowest it could go if we just started plummeting and capitulating? Maybe we get more Bitcoin miner capitulation. Well, that low right now would be around $8,000 to $10,000. Right. So I don't think $3,000 to $6,000 is on the table right now. And in fact, in the short term, I am a little bit more bullish for January and February. But I think around July, August, September of this year, 6 to 9 months outside of the next Bitcoin halving in March of 2024, will be the time that we really want to consider accumulating. Right. I don't know what Bitcoin is going to do here in the meantime, but it may be lower, it may be at the same price, but 6 to 9 months before that halving, I think is when we're going to start to see bids come in, being more comfortable with 6 to 9 months worth of risk to capture the Bitcoin halving event. For Ethereum against Bitcoin. So this is the ETH Bitcoin chart breaking out of this pattern, breaking up above its 21 weeks.
Actually, Forrest, I think we lost you for like a few seconds there. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. There we go. I got you.
All right. Are you guys able to see my chart?
Yeah. Just like repeat like the last 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I was kind of switching modes to Ethereum here. Ethereum, I am more bullish on in 2023. I think 2023 is the year that it outperforms or starts outperforming Bitcoin, or I guess it has outperformed for quite a while, but just continues this phase of outperformance of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has this overhead in the form of miners having to sell to cover the cost of the electricity. And you also have potential Bitcoin miner capitulation. The lower Bitcoin goes, the more they have to sell out of their private reserves or their Bitcoin miner reserves. And that pushes the price, kind of creates this cycle of pushing Bitcoin's price lower and lower. And it makes it very hard for Bitcoin's price to go up. Ethereum doesn't have miners anymore because it's proof of stake. And we're seeing the ETH Bitcoin chart start to break out to the upside. Now we have some resistance levels up here that we need to take out. But from a pattern perspective, we've broken out of this chart. We've broken through the 21-week simple moving average, and we're starting to move upwards. And it doesn't take that much further for us to actually go up and flip Bitcoin. I believe Ethereum actually would flip Bitcoin if it were to push through this red easy band level. And we know that Ethereum can push up to this red easy band level. It's done it before. Not necessarily calling for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin in 2023, but I wouldn't count that out as a possibility if Ethereum just really starts to catch a narrative. In the long term, I do think Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. But at least in 2023, we're starting to see this continuation of Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. So if we look at the ETH chart specifically, we are breaking through 1260, which is a key level. And it looks like we are going to retest our 21-week simple moving average here at around $1,400. That's historically been a good place to consider de-risking. If you want to be de-risked from Ethereum. However, I do think of any cryptocurrency in the market right now you could have exposure to, Ethereum is probably the best. So that's the little market update there.
All right, thank you, Forrest. So let us know what you think about the market update. Are you bullish, bearish on the market? Post down below. Parrish says, did he just say Bitcoin bottoms in Q2 of 2024?
No. March of 2024 is the halving. I actually think that we'll start to see a bid in Bitcoin 6 to 9 months before that. So maybe Q2, Q3 of this year, depending on the timing of any type of recession, maybe even as late as Q4 of 2023. But certainly not by, I think we'll have already caught a bid, and you'll get a lot of speculators coming into Bitcoin wanting to take advantage of the halving in March of 2024.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. So let's now actually move on to the next segment. Just give me a second here. All right. So screen's pulled up. All right. So once again, go to menti.com and vote. Post your questions for us to answer. All right. So let's move over to Degen coin of the month. Yes, Degen coin of the month. It's a new year, new time again for crypto Degens. What coin do you think is the most Degen coin of the month? Basically, what coin would you trade but not hold for the long term, at least for the time being? What coin do you think could pump and do well? So beginning at the bottom, we've got Terra Luna Classic. Will Luna come back from the grave? Then we've got Ripple XRP. We've got Pi Network. We've been hearing a lot of tweets about this. Not sure if this is a scam or not. Pi. Then we've got Shiba Inu, as usual. Then we've got Dogecoin. And surprisingly, I put Solana here because is Solana going to survive? It's down over 90%. People are thinking it's the end of the world. All the blue chip Sol projects are migrating over to Ethereum and Polygon. So if you had to choose one coin to trade this month, one coin that's down a lot, an altcoin, potentially shitcoin, what coin would you trade? Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Let me actually go through and just kind of share what our platform says. So let's say going through all these different coins, I would ask what coin has, just give me a second here. What coin has the highest TM trader grade? And quite frankly, they're all low. So this is really more of a last coin standing. But Dogecoin, our signals are bearish on it since December of last year. Trader grade is the lowest, 28%, very low. It's down 55% year to date. So quite frankly, I don't really think it makes sense to trade this. Pi Network, if I can find it here, is actually even worse. We don't have enough data on this. This is a super Degen coin. I'm not sure if this data is correct. Let me double check what we have on CoinGecko. If anybody knows why this has been trending on Twitter, I'm not sure if that's some kind of shield campaign going on, but let us know down below in the comments. But looking at this, 24-hour trading volume is 6 million. But I'm not sure exactly what they even do. But just based on us not having enough data, I would skip that for now as coin of the month or Degen coin of the month. We've got XRP, also very low grade, 20%. XRP army. I'm sorry, but it's not looking good. But hopefully they win the case, because I think that's a big case for all of crypto. We've got Luna Classic, 44%. Bearish as well, but relative to everything else, maybe there's some hope. Then we've got Shiba Inu getting better. Actually, surprisingly, TM Trader Grade has doubled in the last 24 hours, which is a good trend upward. So maybe there's something trending up with this token. This is also down a lot. Then last but not least, we've got Solana with the highest TM Trader Grade. So out of all the Degen coins, maybe the bottom is potentially in, or we're close to the bottom in Solana. I don't think so based on the trader grade, but out of all these Degen coins, this I think would be the safest Degen coin. I know most of you are probably thinking this is not a Degen coin, but I think relative to what's happened in the last few months with Solana, FTX, Alameda, their projects migrating, there's a lot of risk, but relative to all the other Degen coins we have, I think the community kind of agrees, or the audience agrees. I think this is probably the Degen coin of the month. Forrest, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think Solana is, I do not think Solana is dead. I know a lot of people have declared it dead. There's still a lot of developer activity on Solana, a lot of communities and projects over there that are not leaving. It is unfortunate the level of VC allocation and exposure that they got, and it was kind of run as almost pretty much, to call a spade, it's kind of like a VC run pump and dump. It's unfortunate that happened, and then FTX blew up, and then the FT exposure, that FTX's exposure to Solana and Near Protocol, for that matter, really negatively affected Solana's price. But as far as the technology goes, in the layer one composability that you have, in my opinion, there's nothing quite in the market like it. And I'm as bullish on Ethereum as you can get. And I don't think Solana is necessarily an Ethereum killer by any means. But being able to scale on a single layer one and have everything be composable and not have to outsource to other chains like layer twos is a very, very, very valuable attribute. And I do think that Solana will bounce back next market cycle. Does it hit its $260 all-time highs? Depends on how frothy things get. Probably not, but from where it's at right now at $13 next cycle, could I see it going to 50? Sure. Could I see it bouncing back to maybe 70? Sure. Now, I'm not saying, now's the time to buy it. I think the time to accumulate is going to be closer to the Bitcoin halving. But in the short term here, who knows what will happen with Solana, but I do think it's the most quality coin, despite everything that's happened of this list. I'm not going to be speculating too much on Terra Luna Classic and then Ripple. Ripple's fine, but it's kind of tied up in this lawsuit. And then I'm personally not a big fan of meme coins.
All right. Then Star the Boy says fundamentals are the same, price is just down. All right. So moving on, let's move straight into the question of the day. How do you think ChatGPT-3 will affect crypto? This, for those who don't know, ChatGPT-3 is basically this new AI from OpenAI. That's basically the closest thing we've gotten to artificial general intelligence. It basically can think like a human. It's able to go out there and basically pass the MCAT, pass the bar test. It's pretty incredible AI. How do you think this is going to affect crypto? Are you bullish on crypto? Are you bearish on crypto? Or you don't know? Now, for me, I would say, quite frankly, we're bullish on this because we've been working with GPT-3 for the last over 1 year with a data science team. And we actually shipped a product that I want to preview here. If you go to any token on Token Metrics, and if you go to the summary, if you go to investor page, summary, down below we have automated investment reports powered by GPT-3. And we're working on having this for all the different grades and all the different subgrades. So hopefully by next quarter, we'll have this for technology grade, valuation grade, and fundamental grade. but I think it's pretty cool that we can take our data, give it to GPT-3, and have it basically give us a summary on what the data says in a manner a human can read. So, I mean, for me, I think this is kind of pretty crazy how smart the AI is getting. This kind of begs the question, what happens when AIs become smarter than humans? And in terms of ethics and all that, but definitely very bullish for crypto. I know some people have already began working on trading strategies using AI. Quants have kind of been doing this for a while, but I think having this kind of AI is pretty mind-boggling. Stub says AI will be a nice trader next cycle. All right. First, any thoughts on ChatGPT-3? Are you using it?
Yeah, I think this is the first thing that's actually come through that people have made people realize what the average person realize what AI is actually capable of. Like people can actually go to ChatGPT, type in stuff, and they're like their minds are blown. It's kind of like, you know, people finally revealing like what the internet was capable of or what crypto was capable of. This is like that next big jump in technology, and it's starting to go mainstream. My prediction, however, is I think it's going to be really, really important to be paying attention and doing research and having access to research in the next market cycle, because I think AI is going to become a narrative, and you're going to see a lot of coins and a lot of projects pop up that claim to be AI based or AI projects. And I think 99% of them are going to be, I mean, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of funding to get to where OpenAI is today. And next cycle, you're going to see coins that are going to be doing, 2 or 3 X's based on the fact that they have AI in their name, right? So those are, to me, there's going to be a lot of landmines, and that's where it's going to be really important to have, access to premium research, access to, joining in live stream, paying attention to what's actually, a decent project versus getting burned on something that just, says that they're AI based and actually isn't. But I do think we will get an AI crypto narrative next cycle.
That does make a lot of sense. So actually, I saw today on Twitter that OpenAI is fundraising at a $29 billion valuation, which is pretty fast, right? And because the co-founder is Sam Altman, former partner at Y Combinator. Then Elon Musk is also an early co-founder or part of the team. He kind of seems to be in every big company that's raising a whole bunch of money. SpaceX as well. All right, so based on what the audience says, they think this is bullish for crypto. Now, one cool thing is, so our vision has always been to kind of merge data and AI for crypto. We've also been working on a Q&A bot, which we quite aren't ready yet to put out there, but it's kind of similar to a ChatGPT-3 using our own data, because we think that's kind of where the puck is going from a data perspective and AI perspective. Being able to interact with an AI, I think ChatGPT-3 is kind of taking this whole concept now mainstream. So imagine being able to have a ChatGPT-3 for crypto and ask any kind of question. So imagine the same questions you ask us on an AMA, having an AI answer those questions based on data. That's kind of where we're trying to go with gathering as many data points as possible, and then building really an abstraction or an interface that a non-technical person can leverage to get insights with that data. All right, I'm seeing lots of people talking about Pi. I'm not sure whether they're doing some kind of social media campaign. All right, so let's move straight into the AMA. I know Forrest has a hard stop. All right, so first question from our audience. You said you're not into USDC. Which stablecoin are you using? Well, me personally, I'm using the old US dollar. I'm basically cashed out. Now, on the fund side with Token Metrics Ventures, we do have some USDC. We have Tether. We have Pax Gold. We have some DAI. We're basically just spreading the risk all around, and also cash, because every stablecoin has had FUD on it. So it's very tough to really know what stablecoin is going to potentially have any issues. Hopefully none, but if any happen, I think the best method is really to just diversify. What do you think about stablecoins, Forrest?
Yeah, I think the best option right now is, if I had to pick one, it'd be USDC. To be clear, I don't think that there's going to be issues with USDT. I know they've done very shady things, but I do think that they're solvent. I don't think there's going to be issues with Binance, but at the same time, why even bother taking the risk? Like I like there is risk with USDT. There is risk with stablecoins. So why bother taking the risk? If I had to choose one, USDC. But right now, I think dollars in your bank account are probably going to be the best thing. You can always just ACH them directly onto an exchange and buy fairly quickly. There is a new stablecoin coming out from Aave. It's called GHO. And I think that's going to be really interesting because it's going to follow a similar model to DAI. But one of the issues that DAI has, I believe it is largely collateralized by USDC. So if you're in DAI, you're also kind of exposed to USDC at the same time. Whereas Aave stablecoin will be backed by a basket of different cryptocurrencies, which is all of which will be over collateralized, similar to the DAI model. So that's potentially an interesting one for next cycle. But yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next question. What's your take on Chainlink? And actually, maybe first, could you pull up Chainlink for TA? I'll also pull it up here on our platform.
Yeah. So for the short term, it's really tough to say. I'm pulling up the chart here. Let's go. Actually, let's throw off the indicators. And Chainlink's really easy to do TA on right now because we've just been trading in this range since basically crypto since May, really. And it does pay you to buy at the bottom of the range. It does pay you. Yes, there's risk that we fall through and we make new lows, but in general, it does pay to buy to trade. You buy the bottom of the range, sell the top of the range. Now, this actual most recent trend is a bit bearish. That's fine. But from a longer term perspective, like I'm not interested in trading Chainlink here personally. Regardless of taking risks on it, fading the downtrend and trying to catch a ride back up to the top of the range here or not. I think Chainlink is a solid blue chip cryptocurrency. Is it going to give you a 100x, and move to $500? No, it's not. But it is a very, very key piece of core cryptocurrency space infrastructure, right? Everybody needs pricing oracles. Everybody needs access to decentralized data. And Chainlink is the leader in that. And they really don't have any big competitors. Now, if you look at the overall crypto space, it makes sense that as demand for decentralized data and as demand for crypto has gone down, so has the price for Chainlink. When that ramps back up next market cycle, I do think Chainlink will ramp up and perform well with the rest of the bull market. So it's just a matter of how much demand is going to come in for Chainlink in next market cycle. So if you're looking for something that's, hey, it's down quite a bit. And again, I think the time to bid will be more towards June, July. But if you're looking for something, a solid cryptocurrency that is very, very, very likely to bounce back next market cycle and not lose, again, not financial advice here, but probably at this price point for Chainlink at 567, yes, in the short term in a bear market, we could have further drawdown. Things could go lower. We get more contagion. If you're willing to sit through potential drawdown, I think at this price in the long term, if you look at where the market's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now in the next bull market, you will probably be fine in Chainlink. I do think it is a blue chip as far as large caps go. Not going to 100x, but I do like Chainlink.
All right, so pulling up Chainlink on the platform, I think I fully agree with Forrest. Chainlink is a nice, safe Oracle pick. Trading it right now in this market, not the best coin. I think there are better coins out there. On the long term, it has a pretty decent or good investor grade, so definitely a safe pick. Not going to 100x, but I think if you're looking for something that's more undervalued, if you are looking for an Oracle, one that you should keep an eye out for, that we've covered in the past, that has pretty good technology based on the investor grade. So I've gone to the platform, put on the investor grade, and looked just purely at the Oracle sector or category. And we have Band Protocol, which is scoring almost at 80%. And then also Teller scoring at 76%. So I think these are the ones I would look at if you're looking for an Oracle play. that potentially has more upside, that's more undervalued, but also riskier. Obviously, high risk, high rewards. But if you're looking for the safe investment, Chainlink is not so bad. But I think long term, Chainlink is going to be around. I'm curious to see how they're going to evolve as we enter this multi-chain world, which I think is going to be a big narrative for next market cycle. But I think there'll also be even more competition. But definitely, I think it's a safe play. All right, so moving on to the next question. Happy New Year, guys. What's your thoughts about Digibyte, DGB? Honestly, I've not thought about this much, but if we pull this up here, DGB. I feel like almost every market cycle, DGB kind of has this moment of like 15 minutes of fame, where it comes out of nowhere, goes on a pump, then kind of goes back into like oblivion. So I'm not sure whether that's happening now, but looking at this, trading rate is not so bad. On the investor side, it's actually not so bad as well. So maybe worth looking into. Looking at this, valuation grid is very, very low, telling me that it's relatively undervalued to other competitors in the space. So maybe worth putting on a watch list to kind of see how it fares based on the fundamentals. First, any thoughts on Digibyte?
I'm not super familiar with Digibyte, other than the fact that I think it's like full, like as much decentralization as possible. I think there's probably some better places to look than Digibyte when it comes to just investing your money in the next cycle. I think there's some really, really exciting stuff, and I'm not sure that Digibyte is one of those things. Again, if it like Ian said, if it pumps every market cycle, you're probably going to get a nice return on it. If we get another market cycle, it is a pretty old school coin, so those do tend to have nice runs from time to time, but not an area of focus for me. So I can't comment too much on Digibyte.
All right, let's check in here with the audience and see how we're doing. Somebody says, Star says, Arweave will be huge, especially versus Filecoin. Tokenomics are incomparable. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Arweave, almost 95% of their tokens are already out there, and so only 5% has to hit the market, while Filecoin has a way higher FDV and has such a high inflation rate in the future that I don't really see how it's going to make money. That's why I sold my Filecoin, because I was part of that private sale or ICO back in 2017. But I sold mine, I think, over 2 years ago. I think there's just way too much inflation and it's way overvalued. If you're looking for a storage play, I think Arweave is way better. Okay, all right. So somebody's asking about Honey, HiveMapper. Happy New Year, Token Metrics family. Thoughts on the accumulation of projects such as HiveMapper and Honey Token, considering the downturn in crypto and possible recession? So we've covered HiveMapper, and from a fundamental and technology standpoint, bullish, but I specifically said that only if the FDV was below 50 million and only if their market cap was basically under 20 million, ideally at 18 million. Right now, it's actually trading on a Solana DEX, which I can pull up on CoinMarketCap because that is the only site so far that has their data. But right now, it's illiquid and there's no trading volume, and I think it's way overvalued. So if we go down, yeah, so right now it's priced, it's actually up 18%, huh? Yeah, so FDV over 800 million. In this market condition, this is way overvalued. Even though I've said this could be the next helium, I just think this does not make any sense with all this, because about a third of the token supply will be liquid within the first 12 months. So my stance is wait for this to come down to 0.004 cents before even thinking about touching this, because I think that's when it hits that target FTV I've mentioned and that target market cap. However, if you're mining this, if you're earning this through the dash cam just from driving around, then that's free money. So liquidity is getting better because now I see volume is almost 30,000. Still pretty low, but relative to where it was 1 or 2 weeks ago when we talked about this on the stream, you can still sell your airdrops from mining and driving. So I think in a time like this, plays like this where you just buy the dash cam, kind of like with Helium, and just earn tokens, if you can get to a point where you're earning $1,000 to $5,000 a month just from driving around, then to me, I think that's a good return on your investment. So I would only just drive to earn with this. I would not buy this on the exchange at this FDV. First, have you heard of HiveMapper?
Yeah, I ordered a dash cam a while back. I pre-ordered one, still haven't gotten it. So, I don't do much driving, but my wife does. So, we'll see if it makes any money.
Yeah, me too. I bought two a while back. Based on the schedule they posted, I think they're expecting like Q1, Q2 for those who ordered around summer of last year, which is the time I did mine. All right, so let's actually do a question from the audience here. Clay says, what are your top 5 next up and coming low caps that you think may 10x during the next bull run? All right, people always love these questions. So top 5 low caps for the next bull run. Well, I think depends on how you invest. So for me, I think I'm actually hoping HiveMapper crashes and comes down 99%. Then it'll be a low cap. Based on these current FTVs, there's no low cap. Quite frankly, I'd have to just pick the ones we actually invested in on the TMV side. But these are very, very risky. Tokens haven't even launched yet. But right now, I'm not really seeing any other low caps that come to mind. First, do you have any low caps you're watching on your watch list?
Yeah. So full disclosure, I have significant allocations to this project. So keep in mind that you just want to make people aware of any potential conflict of interest. But it's because I'm very bullish on it. So I mean that's kind of the normal thing. I'm very bullish on the DeGods and Utes ecosystem. So they have, similar to Bored Ape Yacht Club, you have Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and the dogs like Bored Ape Kennel Club or whatever, and then they have ApeCoin. The number 1 and number 2 projects on Solana in terms of NFTs are DeGods and Utes. They are leaving Solana to go to Ethereum and Polygon respectively. Polygon it's pretty clear that Polygon is betting really, really big on the Utes collection to kind of spearhead the growth and proliferation of the NFT ecosystem within Polygon. So I think Utes are going to be at the center of that. They'll very likely be the number 1 NFT project on Polygon, which doesn't have an NFT ecosystem at all, really, besides the Donald Trump NFTs. So there's really, really nothing there, but they're making it a focus. If you go to Sandeep's Twitter and I believe Ryan Wyatt, the CEO of Polygon Studios, they both have Utes as their profile pictures. So they're definitely putting a lot of muscle behind that collection. And then just taking the number 1 project off of Solana and moving it from a chain. I think Solana is like a $3 billion fully diluted or market cap chain right now. Maybe it's up to 5. I don't know. But then you look at Ethereum, which was well over, I believe, 160 billion. Let me actually get the real numbers, just so I'm not going off the top of my head. I haven't checked in a while. Ethereum's 152 billion, and Solana is 7 billion fully diluted. So you're taking the number 1 collection, the number 1 NFT collection off of Solana and injecting it into the Ethereum NFT ecosystem, which has way more trade volume and way more just wealth in general as far as being a higher value chain. I think that you're going to find there's a strong chance that just the higher level of liquidity ends up pumping the NFT project price. And then their ecosystem token is called Dust, which is very low cap. It's around a $15 million market cap. And I'll switch back to my normal screen here, which is high risk, high reward. But if Polygon's making a serious bid for this, supporting Utes in this ecosystem, then I do think it ends up doing well next cycle or maybe even sooner. So full disclosure, I do have significant allocations to both of those, but that is my reasoning why.
All right, thank you, Forrest. So I'm actually going to share some here, kind of the same I've covered before. So we have Canto. Canto basically is a Cosmos ecosystem EVM. So I think next market cycle, Cosmos is an ecosystem we're very, very bullish on. So I think having an EVM exposure that's undervalued relative to all the other EVMs on Cosmos is worth keeping an eye on. Then I would also add Stellar Network based on what we covered on the last stream. I think multi-chain narrative will be a big narrative next market cycle, and Stellar Network basically sits comfortably as the plumbing and infrastructure within that space. And they're actually kind of similar to Layer Zero, which raised at $1 billion valuation, and this is valued at a tenth of that, at under 100 million. So definitely worth keeping an eye on this. Then Render token, we've covered this as well in the past. Render basically, I think if you're trying to play the whole metaverse and cloud computing and all that, definitely worth keeping an eye on this. Tokenomics could be better, but I think this is a good token to have on your watch list. Obviously, I'm biased with AstroDAO, our protocol. That's probably my biggest holding. Then if I had to pick some other tokens, let me just go through our watch list real quick. So yeah, I think all the rest have kind of covered in the past, right? So HiveMapper, if the valuation crashes by 99% or so. Say Network is one we're looking to see how it launches. It's basically an app chain for DeFi, is my understanding, backed by Multicoin. But basically, the technology is supposed to be very, very fast for financial applications. So think of this as really a DeFi-centric blockchain. In that same category is Umi. Umi is basically a DeFi blockchain on the Cosmos ecosystem. Worth keeping an eye on that one as well, if you're bullish on Cosmos. And I think those are really the low caps right now we're looking at. But tell us, which low caps do you think will do well down below? All right, so let's go back to the stream real quick. When's your hard stop, Forrest?
I actually need to run pretty soon here, so
Okay,
I appreciate you having me on.
So,
it's an absolute pleasure.
Definitely great having you on. Happy New Year. Any last words to our audience?
Guys, just hang in there. The patience will pay off. There may be a little my thesis here, my base case is maybe a little bit of upside for probably more downside, unfortunately, in 2023, at least for the legacy markets. Crypto could go either way, but I do think that it is a little bit risky to be heavily allocated to the market right now, outside of just some basic large cap stuff like Ethereum. Hang in there, guys. We are getting very, very close to the time to start accumulating again. We are 15 months away from the next Bitcoin halving. And if you look historically, the optimal time is that kind of 6 month beforehand window. I do think we'll see another market cycle probably in line with that next Bitcoin halving. So guys, stay patient and make sure you're paying attention to the crypto space, because as soon as you stop paying attention, that's when you're going to miss a lot of really big opportunities.
All right. Thank you, Forrest. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Ian.
All right, so let me answer one last question before we wrap things up here. So Happy New Year. Could the next update, Shanghai, create a positive trend like in 2019? So basically this person is referring to the Ethereum Shanghai hard fork. So we actually, I covered this on our customer webinar on Wednesday. And one interesting thing I noticed, if you let me come back here. If you go to trader grade on Token Metrics, and we shift to just all tokens, and shift by trader grade. Actually, no, let me just reset this. Okay, hold on. Sorry, not sure what's going on here. But basically, most of the tokens there are 2 or 3 tokens that were high in trader grade, and they were all Ethereum liquid staking tokens. And that's how we actually found the narrative that Shanghai hard fork might be a big narrative to trade this month. So Pax code is still high, but if we go to, we had Rocket Pool with a trader grade of 86%, Then we had Lido DAO, 84%, although it is down. Rocket Pool is down as well. Then we also had, what was the other one? Looks like it's dropped some more. But there was some other, I thought that was a different, but anyway. Rocket Pool and Lido DAO. I think it was Stakewise. Let me see where Stakewise is. So all three are liquid staking protocols. Actually, yeah, this is 80%. So if you go to Twitter, somebody had a post here. But basically, for those who are unaware, like CryptoCon says, basically, is this going to be a mass selling event for ETH? Right? Basically, ETH2 deposit has amassed, holding 12% of the total supply. Right? So as the ETH exchange reserve drops down to 15% of the total supply and basically decreases, what will happen to ETH after the Shanghai hard fork? My understanding is basically this hard fork will allow people to basically unstake Ethereum, right? And it's set for March of this year, right? So after the fork, it will enable withdrawals for Ethereum stakers, validators from the beacon chain, right? So how much ETH can be withdrawn? The estimate about 15 million or 12% of the total ETH supply. So from a short-term perspective, there are higher APY strategies than staking rewards by depositing ETH2 that might not be promised to withdraw. So people are trying to basically kind of speculate on this and see how this will impact Ethereum as a whole ecosystem. And there was actually a different Twitter thread I liked that I saw. Let me see if I can find this. It was by some guy on Twitter. Then somebody here has a poll. Biggest winners post Shanghai hard fork, ETH shorts. Okay, so let me actually pull this up here from Blockworks. Yeah, so this will allow liquid staking protocols to finally accrue their respective fees as revenue. Most of these liquid staking protocols do not currently have a framework in place to share revenue with governance token holders. One outlier worth highlighting is Frax Finance, which will use 8% of liquid staking protocol fees to buy back FXS. Okay, interesting. So yeah, this is also because Frax has 2 tokens. If you go to Frax share, this we don't really have enough data last time I checked on Frax share. But right now, Lido DAO owns basically 3/4 of the market. 75% of the market is owned by them in terms of adoption for liquid staking protocols. Yeah, so 74%. Rocket Pool 5%, Coinbase 16%. Let me actually enlarge this. So liquid staking derivative supply. So as you see here, basically Lido is the king at this. But their token is primarily a governance token. But let's see how this could be a potential trade opportunity. Yeah, so now is a good time to monitor your favorite LSD's governance for guidance on how pending revenue could be used. So basically, if they're paying their revenues to token holders, I could see why, going back to the ratings page, why these LSD tokens will be trending up, right? If you can get paid a portion of those fees, that would be incredible, right? So it's pretty cool that our AI was able to pick up that these tokens were trending up without having to actually go through all that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys bullish on the Ethereum hard fork, right? Will this be a positive uptrend? I don't think so. I think this will be more of a snapper trade opportunity, maybe leveraging the arbitrage between all these different liquid staking derivative tokens. So as we mentioned, there's Rocket Pool, there's Lido Finance, there's Frax shares, there's Stakewise, which I think is that Stakehound over here or Staffy. But let's say you can get a portion of these fees for holding their token. That could be a way to kind of get some alpha in this market. Let me know what you think. With that being said, thank you, everybody. I highly encourage you all to check out our platform, tokenmetrics.com. I don't think our coupons expired for New Year's, unfortunately. Hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that. But if you want to leverage data and AI to become a smarter crypto investor, come to Token Metrics. We do have a 1-week free trial. Just come here, click here, and sign. With that being said, thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye.